the Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament, all the vice chairpersons of the NRM, the Right Honourable Prime Minister, the Secretary General of the NRM, members of SEC, members of NEC, and members of the National Conference. First of all, I thank you for again putting trust in me to be your chairman of the NRM for the period 2026, 2025, 2031. Thank you so much. I also thank you very much for electing me as your flag bearer for the presidential contest. For the presidential contest for the position of President of Uganda for 2026-2031. I congratulate the Honorable Alhaji Moses Chigongo for being elected by you unopposed. Thank you so much. Honorable Moses Chigongo is a senior cadre of the NRM, has worked for the NRM for a very long time, since 1980. Now for these conferences, I have written a speech in a booklet form, which they are going to distribute to you now, of 36 pages. If I try to read it verbatim, you may die here, because it is long. Therefore, I will pick highlights from this booklet here. When I am talking about Uganda, I normally cover more than 1,000 years of this part of the world. Some people make a mistake and talk about Africa as if it did not exist until the Europeans came here to colonize our ancestors. We were here long, long ago. We have been here for 4.5 million years. But I normally speak about the last 1,000 years. However, in this booklet, I start the story at independence, 1962. When Uganda got independence, after the British had been here for 68 years. At that time, our society here had been partially annexed to the British colonial system in a small way. And we are known as an economy of the 3 C's and the 3 T's. The 3 C's were cotton, coffee, and copper. And the 3 T's were tobacco, tea, and tourism. With these 6, you had a small enclave economy of money surrounded by a sea of backwardness, of economy with no money. Now, by 1962, this small island economy, this word enclave economy, is what we are using in the 1960s to describe these colonial economies. Now, this enclave economy, by 1961, was covering only 9% of the homesteads, the ones making some money. 91% were people who were okora echida chonka, working only for the stomach. In Luo, they say, teach me each keken. In our other dialects, I may mix it up, but working only for the stomach. And that's where poverty was. Now, in 1971, when Amin came into government, because he didn't know what he was doing, he collapsed the small island of the 3 C's and 3 T's. By the time we got rid of him, 1979, cotton had collapsed, copper had collapsed, tea had collapsed, and so had tourism. It was only tobacco and coffee that were still limping on. That's why the situation of the people was very bad. There were shortages of everything. No soap, no salt, no sugar, no sodas, no beers. Our beer drinkers were drinking beer from Burundi called Primus, and some beer from Congo. There was no beer here. Therefore, what is in this booklet is what the NRM has achieved. When we came in, we knew exactly what to do. And that's why the economy of Uganda has recovered. And as I speak today, we have gone through 5 phases. Phase number 1 was minimum economic recovery, where we brought back some of the seeds, we brought back cotton, we brought back coffee was there, we brought back tourism, and we brought back tea. Some of the seeds and the teas came back. But we also defeated magendo, smuggling, chibanda, foreign currency, black market, oksamula, speculation. And we called that the phase of minimum economic recovery. Then phase 2 has been the expansion of the small island. Produce more coffee, produce more tea, more tourism. Copper, we are now bringing it back, and we are going to produce it in a better way. That was the second phase, expansion. Third phase is diversification. In the colonial times, there was incredible blindness or carelessness. We used to be told that cash crops were only coffee, cotton, tea, and cocoa in West Africa. Then we would say, how about bananas? How about maize? How about milk? How about beef? How about cassava? How about fruits? Why are they not cash? And we'll be told, no, those are not cash crops or cash products. They are only for eating at home. But of course, we didn't believe this. You can imagine me from Ntungamo. I used to see in the shops tinned milk from New Zealand being sold in the shops in Ntungamo. And yet I was a milk producer just 2 miles away from the trading center. But my milk, my father's milk, was not being sold in the trading centers. So when we came, we diversified the economy. We said everything that is needed nationally, regionally, internationally is a cash product, provided it is profitable. That's how we have made maize a very big cash crop. Sugarcane is a big cash product. Cassava is becoming a very big cash product. Milk, beef, bananas, fruits, vegetables, all those are cash products. So therefore, the third phase is diversification. The fourth phase is value addition. Because one big loss was to sell raw materials. This shirt I'm putting on and one of the shirts you are putting on are from Ugandan cotton. Certainly mine is. It is produced by fine spinners. When you sell unprocessed, semi-processed cotton, you may get $1 per kilo. But if you convert that kilo into shirts, first of all, 1 kilo will give you 4 shirts. And the total value will be about $15. So when you sell lint cotton, you get only $1, but when you process it to where I am now with the shirt, you get $15. A difference of $14. But also the jobs which are created. The spinning job, the weaving job, the printing job, the tailoring job, all those are lost if you sell raw material cotton. So that is the fourth phase. I don't know whether they can show you some of the factories of value addition, like the one of fine spinners.